Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, everybody. My name is Patricia Peters, and I am the host on Chat with Pat. Bear with me 1 second. Let me make sure my volume is up. Everything is good. Yep. All right. So it's Friday night, and most of you are out partying. I know it's freezing out there, but hey, you got to get warm up, right? And many people in Queens or in Manhattan, wherever you are partying right now, and that's okay. Well, as a digital entrepreneur, your mindset is different. You think differently. You carry yourself differently, and you generally be a different human being. So tonight, I want to say thank you all for stopping by tonight. I have a very special message tonight to all of you. And if you guys know me by now, I like to motivate people. I like to educate people. I like to teach people. So that's my niche, right? And as a digital business entrepreneur, I see it fitting. I have the platform, I have the sources, I have the means, I have the capability. Why not? Right? So thank you guys on TikTok for tuning in. The several hundreds that I have every night, every time I'm there, I go live. I have several hundred people. It makes me feel happy. So kindly my my material that I'm sharing, and follow me on TikTok. For my Facebook audience, I know people don't have the patience and the time to check their Facebook. So I know for the last yesterday and today I had 40 something thousand viewers. So that's awesome. I am streaming right now on YouTube and both of my Facebook, and I switch it around. Sometimes I go on Instagram, sometimes I go on LinkedIn as well. So, a very good night to all of you across the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from. My name is Patricia Peters, and I'm the host on my show, Chat with Pat. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a neighbor, a friend. And above all of that, I am a digital entrepreneur. And you guys heard my story several times already, why I became a business owner. And everybody has a why in their life, and you have a why. And I know that you need to do something other than what you're doing right now. So tonight, we're not going to talk about business. I would love to do that all the time, but I'm changing up the trend. I'm teaching you different things on different nights, right? So tonight's message is 5 money lessons no one teaches you in school. And I would have loved to know this when I came to this country first. I have no knowledge of balancing the checkbook and all that stuff. I make sure my bills are paid and don't get charged. But, you know, as you get older, I must say you get wiser. So tonight, first, let me ask you guys, how was your day? Uh, I had a very, very busy day. I had brunch with my oldest daughter. As you see, I post some pictures, and I had a health insurance assessment with my mom. So I had to be present. And then I came home and I rested a little. I didn't cook today. And then my husband took me out for a Valentine dinner, and we had a wonderful time, and it was delicious. I'm still so full, and I still have a meal more for tomorrow from the leftovers I brought home. But he didn't want to go out tomorrow because he said it'll be crowded. And everybody I talked to, they all said the same thing. So everybody went out today. Anyway, I hope you have a great Valentine tomorrow. And I post on my Facebook a message, what really is Valentine and who Valentine is really for. So if you're on my Facebook, hop in. It's interesting. I wanted to share that tonight, but maybe I'll share it tomorrow. I wanted to share what is the meaning of Valentine. And I did the whole shebang. So read it, educate yourself on my Facebook. All right. Today's lesson is 5 money lessons no one teaches you in school. And number one is spend less than you earn. That's common sense, right? Spend less than you earn. Number two is save and invest before you pay anyone else. Before you give anyone money, pay them for anything they did for you, save and invest your money before you do all of that. Number three, buy assets. I always teach people this. Working in the bank, I know the benefits of earning assets and not liabilities. So number three is buy assets, not liabilities. And number four, never borrow to consume. If you get my drift, a lot of people borrowed money to go to Guyana. They borrowed money to buy a car. They borrowed money to take a vacation. They borrowed money to go out for dinner. And in so many levels and ways and means, people do stuff like that. Number five is the best one that I like, and that's the whole reason I'm here to teach you about that. Right? My hair is a mess, guys. Sorry about that. Number five is the best investment is in yourself. The best investment is invest in yourself. And I didn't know that before. For years, I had, since I left the first credit union, I leave with $67,000. In my 401k, I spent 12 years there, but I didn't contribute at the time more than the 5% that they were contributing. So for 12 years, it took me to save $67,000. Well, not 12. The first year, I didn't contribute anything. They didn't allow you the first year you worked there. So for $67,000, 11 years, and it was a 5% that I contributed. But I got wiser after that. I did 20% after that, right? So I didn't know that I have to invest in myself. So I said that because of the investment part. You need to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, invest in your health, invest in your future. So I'm giving you guys a full breakdown. This is profound and eye-opening. Number one, spend less than you earn. I'm breaking it down for you. This is the foundation of every wealthy person's life. Most people live in the cycle of working, spending, repeating. Work, spend, and it goes the same cycle, right? But freedom begins the moment you create space between what you earn and what you spend. That space becomes your power. It becomes your power. That space becomes your option. That space becomes your future. When you master this, you stop living paycheck to paycheck and start living with purpose. See, we need to have purpose in our lives. Number two, save and invest before you pay anyone else. Most people pay bills and themselves last, and that's why they stay stuck. Wealthy people do the opposite. They pay themselves first, even if it's small. You know, if you own a store, a grocery store, you just started a grocery store, right? And you have 5 employees. You end up paying them, but you're not paying yourself. You don't take a portion out for yourself. You say, oh, I own this business. Nonsense. You got to pay yourself too. So wealthy people do the opposite. They pay themselves first, even if it's small, because saving is discipline and investing is multiplication. Did you get my drift? When you invest before you spend, you're telling your money, you work for me, not the other way around. See? Money is a thing. If you talk to it, things happen. If you tell money you're the boss of money, money will be your slave. All right? If you tell money he's your servant or it is your servant, you're the master, money will obey you. So when you invest before you spend, you're telling your money, you work for me, not the other way around. Number 3, buy assets. I can't stress this enough. I'm telling people to buy assets, not liabilities. I bought this watch here, this iWatch. It cost me $450. I have a phone, I have the watch. It all tells me the same thing. This is a waste of money. But you want to go with the trend. You see everybody have one. You want one too. And I rarely wear it because if you notice me, I don't wear jewelry. I don't like to wear jewelry unless if I'm going to a wedding or a party or something. But I want to be free and comfortable at all times. And number three, buy assets, not liabilities. Assets put your money in your pocket. Liabilities take your money out of your pocket. Simple, right? But most people get it backwards. A new phone, new shoes, new car, they feel good for a moment, but they drain you for years. I am a perfect example of that. I've been in this country for 20, going on 27 years. Between me and my husband and my daughters, we had 22 cars. And 5 of them were secondhand, and the rest are all brand new cars. So every ever so often, my husband's like, oh, as soon as the car get older, you can't sell it. It depreciates the value. And let's trade it in and get a new one. So all my money has gone into cars. And every time you take a car out of a parking lot, it is like $5,000 to $10,000 less as soon as you drove it off. And I'm a person like this. I'm living by the Bible. God promised us to be the head and not the tail, right? Meaning for me, he wants us to have the best. I don't like secondhand stuff. I never drink on someone else's cup. I don't like to drink juta. I don't like to wear people's stuff. I like to have my own stuff. I like brand new things. I like nice things. So all my cars are brand new cars that I drive, right? But that's not good investment. That was a bad investment. So we ask for new phones, new shoes, new cars. They feel good for the moment, but they drain you for years. They make you live in debt. Assets, digital businesses, investments, skill systems, they feed you for a lifetime. I'm telling you, I'm a prime example of that. Because why? I'm a digital entrepreneur. I am a digital business owner. So these are the things. Your assets are your digital business, your investments, your CDs, your Roth IRAs, your saving bonds, your I bonds, your all these other things, right? You invest in. Like I invest in a company called, it's on my phone. I invest in Walmart, I invest in Netflix, and I invest in something else. Facebook. And every day they tell me I'm making money. They show me the record, right? You go, bling, the market has gone up, stocks went up. So it gives me that stuff every day. And you make a $4 or $5. I invest a few $100s in it, but you make a $4 or $5 every day. Hey, that's not bad, right? Good. So when you invest in yourself, in a digital business or any other skills, invest in a stall. You know, those guys have the stall with the hot dogs and the shish kebabs and all. Invest in something that'll bring you an income. They will feed you for a lifetime. If it doesn't grow, multiply, or pay you back, it's not an asset. It's a distraction. Right? Number 4, never borrow to consume. Never borrow money for fun, for all these things. Let's dig deep into it. Debt is not the enemy. Misuse of debt is the enemy. Misuse of your debt, the money you borrow, if you misuse it, that's the enemy. Borrowing for education, business, or growth can elevate you because you borrow but you're investing it in your education, because when you're educated, you're going to have a better job. You borrow because I borrowed money from my 401k to start my business, right? And my business is growing, so it's making me the money back. Or your growth, something, some classes, some coaching, something that will elevate you, educate you, motivate you, something. Borrowing for clothes, vacations, or lifestyle keeps you trapped. I know you guys are talking right now like, oh, no, 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 I don't borrow for clothes. What do you use when you go to Macy's? You use your credit card. That's borrowing. All credit cards are borrowing, right? So when you borrow to consume, you're paying interest on yesterday's emotion. When you borrow to grow, you're investing in tomorrow's possibilities. Do you guys get it? This is a very powerful message. And I break it down in portions so you guys can understand. So one keeps you stuck and one sets you free. So what do you prefer? The final one, the best investment is in yourself. And I'm so happy I invested in myself. Investing in myself was one way of taking care of my health. The business I'm doing, when I started this business, I have to purchase a few items for myself. And everybody who comes in the business have to purchase those items. That's your kickstart. You're investing in yourself. And the stuff that I invest, lo and behold, I can't live without it. Love it. It makes me feel good, makes me look great, and I have no more pain. I'm drinking healthy water, and it's amazing. Now, the best investment is to invest in yourself. Skills don't depreciate. When you have a skill, that doesn't go out of tune, out of bounds, or out of season, right? Knowledge doesn't expire. Educate yourself in a class. Sign up for something. There's so many things online. Join Jay Shetty in a coaching class or something. Knowledge doesn't expire. Thank God for my parents. They send us to school and we know to read and write. The little we know, I'm putting it to use, right? Confidence doesn't lose value. When you hang around like-minded people, you become confident. You yourself are surprised at yourself. I'm surprised at myself. I have two big hell of a monitors. I have live TikTok going on. I have a computer here. I have a computer over there. And I have one downstairs. This is amazing. And when I started working in this country, my first teller position, and the guy was training me, Brandon, where you are, if you're watching this, you probably laugh at this right now. When Brandon told me to take the mouse and move it and click, 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 I said the mouse doesn't go. The mouse ran away and they all started laughing. I didn't know how to move a mouse when I came to this country, right? So confidence doesn't lose value. Hang out with like-minded people, people who are intelligent, people who are knowledgeable, that when they talk, you listen, you observe, you learn, right? And thank you for those who are watching right now live on TikTok. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening. That makes me feel good that I am sharing something valuable. All right. So confidence doesn't lose value, and your mindset. That's the engine behind every dollar you ever make, your mindset. If you don't have a positive mindset, nothing works. You know, they say in America there are negative Nancy's, the naysayers, negative Nancy's, and all these names they will call them. The negative, there's so many negative Nancy's out there, and their mindset is corrupted, confused. They need to transform it. They need to change it. Put some positivity in it, right? Because if you don't, it doesn't matter what I'm teaching you here tonight or telling you here tonight. If you have a doubtful mindset and you're like, oh my gosh, she's talking pure trash. Oh, she's a Guyanese. What does she know? The minute you saw me, you bind your mind and you locked in that, oh, you don't want to learn anything, you don't want to listen to me, you don't want me to talk to you or teach you anything, that's a wrong mindset. You have to have an open mindset, like a parachute. Your mindset should be like an open parachute. When you have an open parachute, you can sail the air and fly like an eagle, right? And roar in the wind. But if you have a closed parachute, you know what happens? You fall and die. So have an open mindset, just like a parachute. That's the engine behind every dollar you will ever make when you have a positive mindset. When you invest in yourself, your education, your business, your growth, you're building something no one can take away from you. You heard that, right? People said, oh, you get house, you get property, you get money, people take it away from you. But if you have knowledge, if you have wisdom, if you have talent, you have a skill, no one can take that away from you, right? Good. When you invest in yourself, your education, your business, your growth, you're building something no one takes away. Not a job loss, not an economy shift, not a crisis. You are the asset guaranteed to appreciate, right? I love it. Why these 5 lessons matter. I'm going to give you a powerful summary. These 5 lessons or 5 principles, I have goosebumps. These 5 principles are not just money tips, they are the blueprints for freedom. Who doesn't want freedom? Freedom to sleep at night knowing that you don't have to worry about your bank account, knowing that you don't have to worry how your mortgage is going to get paid, or your kids are going to go to school, or your car loan, or your credit card, how all these things are going to get paid, right? That's freedom. They help you to break generational cycles, build stability instead of stress. You know what's generational cycles? Our parents were poor and they borrowed money to survive, and then it trickled down to us. We grew up poor, we're borrowing money to survive, and it'll trickle down to our kids. That's a generational cycle, right? And as a Christian woman, we say that's generational curse. Because if your grandfather was poor, the curse comes down to the younger generation. It's not supposed to be that. We need to rebuke those curses, rebuke those generational evil things away from our life, and secure our future with freedom, financial freedom. It builds stability instead of stress. When you have these 5 money lessons and principles in your life, it gives you stability instead of stress. You know, I share with people that stress, growing up, I didn't know what was stress. We never use the word stress in Guyana. We use worries. We say, oh, we take worries, right? So if you manage your money well and you follow these 5 principles, your money can be stable and you won't have to be stressful. Create options instead of excuses. Always find something new to do. Always seek open doors. Always ask for information. How can I do this? How can I learn to do this? When can I start? Things like that, right? Instead of, I don't want to do it. I can't do it. That's not for me. You know, you tend to change your mindset from seeing it as I can't to I'll try. Move from surviving to rising. I always share this with my immigrant parents across the country and in the world. I tell people that you left one country and you come to another. You're living as an immigrant in this country. I don't care if you're a citizen or a green card holder or whatever, you're an immigrant, right? And you left Guyana or the Caribbean or any parts of the world, you come here. Why are you still surviving? Are you still in Guyana? Why are you still living from pillar to post? Why are you still living paycheck after paycheck? We need to transform our mindset from surviving to rising, to thriving, right? You know, I came up here tonight and I didn't even bring any water. Build a life where money supports you, not suffocates you. Huh, that's a good one. You got to write that down. Build a life where money supports you and not suffocates you. When you follow these lessons, you stop reacting to life and start designing it. Isn't that amazing? Why investing in yourself is the greatest wealth strategy. Because everything you want, freedom, confidence, income, legacy, begins with you. You guys, you don't know how powerful you are. You have the keys to success in the palm of your hands. You have the capability to turn your life around 360 and change it. You have the power to be who you want to be, when and how and wherever. Money grows when you grow. Opportunities appear when you evolve. You can't sit on a couch or in a hammock. You know something? I'll tell you something. I'm saying this now because my brother told me once, my older brother, because he came to this country and he had a hard time. He struggled a lot. He told me he used to lift his kid, pick his kid up from the babysitter and walk 92 stairs up in Greenpoint to his apartment building. Didn't have an elevator. And in snow, rain, or fall, then he had to sleep a little bit, go back and pick his wife up. And it was difficult, hard, tough times. And he said, you know, you guys, they're good in Guyana. You guys are sitting on a hammock and you shake all the time. And I sit down and I talk and I gaff and I laugh and I shake. It's not that easy in America, right? So my brother was telling me that when we were back home. So money grows when you grow. If you stand still and you sit in a hammock and you sit in comfort on a couch watching television all day, or you don't do anything, nothing happens. If you do nothing, nothing happens. If you are comfortable, comfort is not growth. You're stuck. You stay still. You stay still for hours. And sometimes it happens to me. I'll sit down, I'll put on the TV, and oh my God, something nice. Right now, I'm watching a Turkish drama. It's called Arafta. And I'm on the 27th episode. It comes in Turkish and English. And it is amazing. I love it. But when I realize that if I don't cut myself, I'll sit there and I'll watch it. Whereas I have laundry to do, I have food to cook, I have my mom to take care of, I have errands to run. But when you sit there, you stay stuck for hours. And you guys can testify to that. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us, right? So why investing in yourself is the greatest wealth strategy? Because everything you want, freedom, confidence, legacy, income, begins with you. You is the most powerful person in this whole message. Money grows when you grow. Opportunities appear when you evolve. When you get up and start thinking like, oh my God, what have I done with my life? I need to do something. I need to change. I need to go do something. Doors open when you decide you're worth more. And that is so true. Sometimes we belittle ourselves so badly and we tell ourselves we cannot do things and we wouldn't amount to anything good in our lives and we're good for nothing. We are the ones that bring us down most of the time, 100% of the time. But doors open when you decide you are valuable, you're worth more, you're special. You're amazing. You're talented. You're beautiful, right? Investing in yourself is not luxury. It's not optional. It's not one day. It's the most powerful, profitable, life changing decision you will ever make. That's a mouthful right there. It is the most profitable, powerful, life changing decision you will ever make because when you rise, your family rises, your legacy rises, your entire world rises. So, the end result, it's all up to you. You have the power in your hands to control your life, your finances, your family, your future, and your legacy. So, what are you waiting for? All right, that's the end of my message. I hope it resonates with you. I hope you learn something out of it and you apply it to your life and make a difference. Be different. I love it when I go to places and I'm among people and I have conversations with them and they'll say, Pat, you're different. Why? I was like, what do you mean? I said, we talk to a lot of Guyanese women and men. We talk to a lot of Guyanese, and that is why people don't know if I'm Guyanese. And they don't speak the way you speak. Or even if they do, we don't get anything out of it. I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone. Absolutely not. But this is the feedback I get. This is what people say. Cheryl, you're different. I said, is it a good different? Or I make it like a joke. Is it a good different or a bad different? And it's like, no, it's a good different. We love it. And that's what you want to be, different. You want to be different in a good way. I can have a conversation with you all day long without dropping an F-bomb. I talk to women. I work with thousands of people. I talk to women, every word that comes out of their mouth, so foul. And I sometimes jokingly said, man, I really got to bring detergent to wash your mouth. And they will laugh it out because it's normal for them. For me, it's strange. I didn't grow up like that. I have a husband who doesn't use foul language. I don't. One time my daughter said, she was 16 in high school, and we're having a conversation, just a casual conversation right upstairs in the hallway here. And she was telling me something that happened in school, and she's like, Mom, oh, that freaking girl, freaking, she said, right? And as soon as I heard the word comes out of her mouth, I was like, chucks. I slap her so hard. She started crying and she's like, Mom, that's not a bad word. That is not even a curse. And oh my God, I had to learn so much in this country. I had to rewire my mindset. I had to reframe my mindset. I have to know my words, learn my words, when to speak them, how to speak them. Like, for example, I can say colored people. My kids don't like that. I didn't grow up about knowing this and that and all that stuff, that these things are bad. I have to say people of color. So many things you have to learn. Like, so I told you guys that because people think I'm different. My daughter used that word freaking. I slapped the hell out of her. And I have to learn so many things after that. So it's not that you have to be careful and cautious when you're having conversation with people. But growing up in a different country, we say so many things and we didn't mean them. And whereas it's bad as hell and it's terrible in this country. So be careful with your words. Be careful who you talk to. Be a little shining vessel, a little shining light, a little candle in the dark. Be different. Learn your money principles, engage in conversations, talk to people who are wise, have intelligent company. Because if you have um, Basmati, Somati, Rewati, Mary, Sarah Jones, and all these women who are foul mouthed and who gossip all the time and bring people down and belittle them, you don't want to be in that messed up company. And I think that is why I don't have friends. I have acquaintances. I have a lot of acquaintances. I work with a lot of people in this 25 years. I have all my high school friends, my primary school friends, my nursery school friends. I still have them all. But am I bosom friends with them? Absolutely not. Do I have any confidence? You know what a confidence, right? Someone you can trust with your gut, your stomach, your whole being. You tell them and you know that it's not going anywhere. Right? We all need one person like that in our lives. One person. And it's nice to have friends, co-workers, acquaintances, colleagues. It's good to have them all. Look, I got invited. If you look at my pictures, I went to dinner last Friday with two women that I work with. One of them I work with, she was a recruiter for Plug Power, and I was a trainer. And then she has a friend that she works with at Walmart years ago. Now she introduced her friend to me. Now we are friends. So she's American. One is half Indian, half Amerindian, and she's Guyanese, and I'm full Indian Guyanese. So one is 46, one is 62, and I'm 55. Mature, intelligent women. They just invited me again to go on a date, a girl's date, right in my city here. And we're going to go to the Titanic something, the Titanic immersion. So that'll be quite an experience because I can't wait. It is happening next Friday, the 27th, I think. So that's a date I got to go on, the 27th. And I was asking my kids, what is this all about? I'm claustrophobic. I can't go into this place. I'm scared as hell. So they're like, Mom, they'll put a glass over you on your eyes, and then you're going to go in this ship. And it's going to feel as if you were in the Titanic. So if you guys know the story of Titanic, I shared that already. I didn't want to erase the memory I have of the movie. The first movie I've ever loved was Titanic. I watched that movie on a 12-inch, 14-inch black and white TV with an antenna and a car battery in Guyana. My husband cousin came from America, so he was visiting with them next door. My two kids were sleeping, and Titanic came on Dave's television. And lo and behold, I opened my eyes so wide and watched every bit of that movie and absorbed it all. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Now I have 85-inch color television, 75, 55, 65 in this house. And there is Titanic that I can watch on color television, and I never did. Why? Because I don't want to take away the memory, the experience, the feeling that I had watching it on the black and white TV so many years ago, 35 years ago. So yeah, I'm going to go to this Titanic immersion next Friday, and I'll see what it's all about. I'll share it with you guys. But guys, it feels great when I share something positive, when I share something educating, so that people can, pick something out, maybe a line, a sentence, a word, a habit, something. and apply it to your life and see the difference. And I'm not telling you don't go and have friends. Friends are great. I have them all. When I see them, there is no space between us, right? And friends, for me, friends are always there. They're like the stars. They're always there, but you don't see them, right? Because sometimes you have day and you have night. And friends are like the stars in the sky. You see them only at certain times, and that's night. Not literally. You understand what I'm talking about. But that being said, as I get older, my daughter's like, many times, my kids like, Mom, you really need some real friends. Like my daughters, they have girlfriends, they go out, you know. I don't have that. I think it's because I didn't grow up with sisters, and I grew up with all boys. I rather keep boys company than girls company, even though I love women and have a good relationship with them. I think it's cooler and more easier to hang with boys and men than women. Because women gossip and they talk and they'll put you in trouble. Men, they don't care a hell. They'll enjoy the moment, have a conversation, laugh. If you have to be serious, you're serious. If you laugh, you laugh, and that's the end. They forget about it. That's what I love. But women, they will hear one thing and they'll tell someone else another thing, and then they'll tell this person and this tell this person, oh, don't tell anyone, I'm telling you, but don't tell anyone. And this person go tell someone else and say, oh, don't tell anyone, I'm telling you. And it's a whole lot of drama mamas out there. And I'd rather do something like this than to go helter skelter with women that doesn't add anything to my life. That's not a good investment for me, right? So, ladies, all you ladies who are watching on TikTok, all my Plug Power girls, I love to hang with you guys. I'm still waiting on a date with you guys, a dinner date. We all promised to have a dinner date together. Yes, so have a confidant in your life. Keep your friends shoulder length, and don't place confidence too much on humans because they'll let you down. And just have colleagues and acquaintances and meet and greet and have a fun time whenever. All right? But above all of this, what I want to say, make sure you add these 5 principles. If you need this message, I can message it to you if you want to read it for yourself. Or even if you want to share it with someone else, you can always come to my Facebook. It's live for 30 days. It'll be on my Facebook. Because live TikTok doesn't keep anything. So, and I think it's time to go. It's 11. We start 10:30 something, and now it's 11:30, almost 11:25. So with that being said, I always like to close my show by saying, if you look around and you find that there are no good human beings in the world, please be the first one to be kind, caring, and loving. Ciao for now. Good night and happy Valentine. Massive thank you to my phenomenal guests and to every one of you who showed up, leaned in, and listened with heart. This wasn't just a conversation. It was a legacy movement. I hope something said today stirs your spirit, sparks your next move, and reminds you that your story matters. Let's keep building, keep rising, and keep leaving footprints that generations will follow. Until next time, stay rooted, stay radiant, and stay ready. Your host, Patricia Peters.